What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Royal Minds podcast for another episode with your guy, Mr. Royal Minds, Darrell Willis. And today I'm with an extraordinary guest, one of my top 10 favorite people in the world, Mrs. Sparkle Rattler.
Hello.
How you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm super excited. I'm glad to be back on Royal Minds podcast. Yeah.
So go ahead, let the people know a little bit about you.
Okay, so like you said, my name is Sparkle Rattler. I am a licensed broker in the state of Michigan, licensed real estate broker, and I stand for everything wealth building, generational wealth, anything budgeting, financing. So that's pretty much what I love to get into: marketing, sales. So yeah, I just like making money, helping people make money, and making money grow. So yeah.
Man, well, first and foremost, let me throw the disclaimer out there. Sis here, she is not a financial advisor. So everything that we speak about is for entertainment purposes. We can go ahead and jump right into it.
Absolutely.
So, with you having your own real estate company and everything, the first thing I want to ask you is, how do you budget for your business?
So I budget for my business the same way I would for my household. Typically, you want to have more money than month. So with that being said, I'm constantly, probably on a daily, just always making sure that I, as we generate revenue, sales, that money is being allocated properly, as well as invested properly as well, because you want to also make sure that your company is growing and scaling on a larger size, just like you would your personal finances. So typically I sit down weekly. We have what's called a Monday, Money Making Mondays. We get on there, we see what type of deals we got under contract, what type of money we got coming in as a company. And afterwards, I go, like I said, and just take a look at everything, look at expenses, make sure that everything is set up the way it needs to be. And if not, then we moving things around and going from there.
I got you. So what are some of the tips that you could drop for the people about just like basically how you said budgeting for yourself first and foremost? Because for me, it took a long time for me to get my mind wrapped around money.
Yeah.
So it would come in like water and leave out like water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, sit down with somebody like yourself that understands money on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do that?
So first thing first, I'll say you can't be scared of money. A lot of people have the mindset of, you hear them, oh, I don't have enough money, or where am I going to get this and this to take care of that? Like, money is abundantly accessible. And so honestly, if I could be completely transparent, from a very small age, I've always figured out how to make money. That's why I say I love making, and it's not even about the money. It's more so about the ability to make it, right? So again, just always, I'm a very creative person, and that's really how you need to be in this world to make money, right? It's the people who think outside of the box that goes further than everybody else, and not staying within a box. So to answer your question, if you are just starting off, maybe you don't have a business, maybe you just want to grab hold of what you have, you got to see where you are. That's the same thing that we do with our clients who are getting ready to purchase a home. We say, let's sit down, let's map out a plan. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. So Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain, so that anybody can run with it. So that means that you need to create a budget for yourself so that your wife or your partner, your children can look at this and pretty much follow along with what you guys are planning for the month. So you need to see where you are. You don't know how to make that plan if you don't even know what you have to pay for. And honestly, I didn't know people really did that. I did not know that people just got up, worked, got their check, and just pay money. They don't really know how much they make, and they don't know how much they spend. They just, get up and go to work and spend and pay bills. And I'm like,
I ain't gonna lie. That's why, when I was working, that's why I liked second shift, because it was like, I didn't have to spend extra money if I wasn't at the job.
Wow.
So it's like me being on second shift, I'm here all day.
Okay.
So I'm not going to spend no extra money. I might go to the vending machine, but I put $5 to the side to do that throughout the week.
Wow.
But other than that, that's how I started to learn how to save money.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is saving money that way is pretty much like doing things from a scarcity mindset.
So, to some degree.
Got you.
Right? Because, again, you know, I'm a believer of being a steward over what you have. Mm. So, and again, that's scripture, you know, being a steward over what you have. So if you don't even know what it is that you have, then how do you even know how to steward over it or where you should allocate it to go to? So I'll tell you a story, you know, I'll tell you a personal story as to how I got more intrigued into finances. So before I got into real estate, I studied or I took up a degree in electrical engineering. Gotcha. And so, you know, prior to that, you know, I got my first position at a McDonald's, right? So I'm thinking about, I'm thinking back now in this moment, how I had to make it with that small salary at McDonald's as a manager, right? Gotcha. And so I made it, right? And how did I do that? Even then, I looked at what I had coming in, what I needed to go out, and I put it where it needed to go. Now, this was before I knew anything that I know about real estate and investing and everything else. But growing up in my household, my grandmother, my mother, we had what's called a bill book, right? So what is a bill book? A bill book is a journal. I'm a creator, so I done made mine on Excel or designed it in Illustrator. But it's somewhere where you write down your bills that you pay every month at the top of the month or the end of the month previously. And so you know, because you have things come up, right? Yeah. So we have our recurring expenses. So you have most likely like your car insurance if you have a vehicle. If you don't own that vehicle right out, you have your car note. You got your consumers, or I'll say like your utilities bills, because everybody's not from Michigan and watch Real Minds, right? Yeah. So you have your utility bills, your light, your gas, water, food, those type of things. Typically, outside of like food, you had, those are set, you know what you're going to spend every month, right? So you write those down. Sometimes they go up. In the winter, gas goes up, right? And so it was normal practice for me to do that every month, normal practice. But then going back into my story, I finally left McDonald's. I finally graduated. I'm working at this job and I'm making great money as an engineer. Gotcha. And so I'm excited, right? So I'm like, you know, I'm like 2 Chainz. I just want to make my mama proud. So I am buying her, you know, and let me say this before I make this statement. My mother never asked me for a dime. Gotcha. Never. She's not even like that. But because of the virtuous woman that I have as a mother, I wanted to, you know, that's what we all say. Like, we want to buy our mom a house, you know, and so I'm redoing her home and different things like that. And again, she didn't ask. I was shopping, and I wouldn't say that I like nice things. I wouldn't say I'm materialistic because I don't have to have them. I don't care if I get a pair of shoes from Walmart or if I get me some Nikes, you know. I just like what I like when I see it. I mean, right?
It's cool for us to like to find new things.
It is. We earned it. It is. It really is. Right. And I'll get to that later, you know, if we have time. But in this moment, I was just shopping. Right. And my vehicle, I remember I lived in the city of Flint. I was driving to Madison Heights. So it was about a 65-mile route there, 65 miles back home. Well,
that gas is tearing your pockets up.
Okay. Man. So what's that? 130 miles a day. 130 miles a day. Right. So my fiance, who was not my husband at the time, he had just bought me a vehicle. Right. And so I'm good. I don't have a car note. I just have my insurance. I'm driving back and forth. And then the engine goes out. And so, you know, again, I said I was coming from McDonald's, you know, the restaurant industry, and now I'm an engineer. So it was a huge switch in payment. I didn't have any money to fix my car. And so, right? Yeah. So
the reason I look like that is because, like you said, you're making great money. Like, you saving a little here, saving a little there, and then you got enough to help other people.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
How you don't have enough to fix your car?
Bro, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Majority of the people in the United States live like I was living. Like, the more money they make, the more money they spend. And that's the issue, right? That's the issue. We believe that a scarcity mindset is attached to the amount of money that you make, but it's not. I was living scarce. Like, we all talk about being wealthy and different things like that, but we don't want to do the things that are necessary to do that, like budget, right? I didn't have any limits. I was just spending my money fast as it was coming in, right? Yeah. So that was my that was my fork in the road moment, right? When I had to call my husband and say, I need you to fix my car. Mind you, he was glad to do it. My husband loves to take care of me. Always have since the moment I met him. But me, as the hustler that I am, the hustler that I was embarrassed. I'm like, I don't have no money to fix my car. $1,000 is all I needed for parts and labor. And I know I had touched that 10 times over, easy in a few months, right? And I'm just like, all right, so yeah, something is wrong. That's when the financial literacy advocate woke up in me. Okay. So I sat there and I cried. I was just like, girl, what are you? Because again, like I said, he's a provider. He didn't care. Yeah. But it was more than that to me. I'm like, the whole point of me going to school and getting a job was so that I didn't live like this. I'm living like I did a few, back at McDonald's. So I sat down and I said, okay, let me see where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Let me locate myself. I printed off all of my bank statements for the last 12 months, even before I started working there. And I sat down, I got me some colored markers and I highlighted. I made categories. I went through and I said, okay, green is for gas, yellow is for food. This is for beauty. This is for, life insurance, home insurance. And I wrote everything down and I calculated every month. And I was like, embarrassed. Do you know where I had spent most of my money at? Take a guess.
Beauty supplies.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, right? I like to get fly. No. Mm-mm.
So where was it?
Food. Fast food.
So how much was you spending in fast food?
I had spent thousands of dollars. That's ridiculous, right? That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I want to say it's embarrassing, but when you think about it, it's like, that's probably the typical American.
I guarantee you it is.
Because the thing is, instead of like sitting down and, like you said, budgeting, meal prepping, things like that, the first thing we do is, as we drive and my stomach growl, let me go to McDonald's. Let me go to Burger King. And it's like, if you think about it, it's one on every corner. So now it's
convenient.
It's a restaurant on every corner. It's like,
Yep. It's convenient. And really, we hear the term all the time, convenience costs you. Convenience costs you. And we don't recognize just how much we pay for convenience. Almost to the point where we are, no, I'm not going to say where we, almost to the point, it is to the point where we are spending our wealth on convenience.
Yeah. So you can't get wealthy because you're trying to, I ain't going to say play it safe, but you're trying to be convenient. Yeah. Like you're trying to just get what's right there and out of.
Yeah.
The microwavable version.
The microwavable. That is really, in my opinion, that is what causes so much demise, is the lack of control, the lack of thought. I am a huge person on like think tanks. I call them think tanks, or just even having moments with yourself where you think. That's what sitting down and making a plan is. Society today doesn't want us to do that. That's why they build us up the way that they do. They don't want us to practice thinking. Well, if you can't even think for yourself, how you going to think for your money? Right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's just, so again, and how many people do we know? And I'm not going to call any names, but I know several people in my family just like, oh, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul, or I can't go up, can't come down, that type of talk, and it's like, but you don't have to. You just stop and think. Just stop and think, look at what you have and stop paying for convenience, So yeah, that was the start of it. And from there, since then, this was back, let me see. I'll say maybe back in about 2015 when I really got woken up in that area. And so since then, it has just been on my heart to learn everything that I can about finance and investing. These last several years have been learning about investing in real estate. But ultimately, I just love learning about, wealth, finance, and growing generational wealth. So, yeah.
So pretty much you like making your money be I'll say one of your workers or employees.
Absolutely.
Man, it's just mind blowing because, like you said, a lot of us pay for convenience. But not only that, like you said, if you don't sit down and look at what you got, you will never be able to put your soldiers in their place.
Exactly.
So now,
like
we said, is as soon as that faucet come on, you start getting all this money. When you get to the bag, you end up losing the bag because you're throwing it right back out.
And how many times do we see that? We see those, have not stories. It's because, and I don't know if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey. I know there's a lot of controversy about him, but I like to take the meat and spit out the bones. Even just listening to him was a huge part because there's different places in your life where you need to grab hold to different information. He's big on budgeting. So if you don't have a budget, you need to, get in line with what he's saying, start somewhere. And then you can kind of get into, what the other people are saying as far as, buying real estate and different things like that. Now, sure enough, everybody has their own personal story. But again, like I said, wherever you are, just learning what it is that the adding another tool to your tool belt. I need to know how to invest. Recently, I have been studying really deep on finance success for children. I have 2 little girls. I'm being now introduced to people who are speaking to me about things that they're doing for their children who are newborns. What do? Oh, we wait until high school to start applying for college. We wait until they're grown to start figuring out how to help them pay for life. And it's like other cultures, before they even get pregnant, they already have things in place for them. So again, it's like, oh, nah.
She said, I already know what you mean, because to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why I don't have children yet. It's because I do want to be able to set them up the best way possible.
Absolutely.
And it's like the one thing that kept playing in my head is me working a 9-to-5 won't do that. I'm like, I won't get rich working a 9-to-5. The only way that I will be able to make some money is if I partner with individuals like yourself.
Yeah.
Or if I start to work for myself.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't want to be an employee in my own
company.
Absolutely.
Oh goodness. That's a whole word.
Man.
You talking my talk right there.
Because the whole thing is, it's like I quit a job. I don't want to quit a job to work a job.
Yeah.
I don't mind putting in the work at all.
Absolutely.
But in the same
to build.
To build. Once it gets to a certain amount, like, how do we automate this thing? Like, how do we work this thing to work itself? So I don't have to keep doing this, and I can go take my wife on these lavish vacations.
Yes.
We can go, instead of going to Hawaii for a week, we're there for the whole summer.
Exactly.
Like, and then I don't have to open my computer to look at, all right, who needs this, who needs what? No, it's automatic. It's done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I call it mailbox money. How do we get our mailbox money? Our sleep coin, right?
So how do we get the sleep coin?
So that is getting into investing, right? So there's several things. Like I just recently watched a video about IRAs, right? Or investing in it. And let me say this, a lot of people don't recognize that you can invest in anything, right? I mean, so just figure out what you're comfortable with. I will not sit up in here like my brother said, it's a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've seen how people can invest in it. It can be real estate. Real estate is a stock, right? Or it could be, whatever cryptocurrency or whatever stock market that you want to invest in. But also, so to keep matters general, I'll say invest in things that's going to give you a return, no matter what that is. Even it could be a vending machine. It can be shoes. It could be and put your money in places, invest your money or purchase appreciating assets, right?
So,
okay.
Keep going. Because you're hitting them with some bombs right now.
Okay.
What is an appreciating asset?
So appreciating asset is anything that's going to increase in value.
Gotcha.
Right? And then you have liabilities. You have assets and liabilities. You also have depreciating assets, but I'm not going to go down there. But basically you have assets and liabilities. And this is typically how the wealthy looks at money. Assets and liabilities, just 2 columns. We, like I said, income from a job. You use and you hit it right on the nose. It's not about, because everybody wants to run and work for themselves, right? And just like you said, anybody who has done that or experienced that understands that working for yourself is working 10 times harder than what you already work.
Thanks.
So, okay, if that's not the lifestyle you want to live, how can I increase my net worth where I am? Again, where are you now? Because there's some positions that provide a lot of value. I got, 401k, health benefits, because you can grow some money with a 401k, not as fast as you can in other type of investment accounts. But how do I look and see what I have? So, okay, married couples, we living off of one income. We taking this other income and we invest in that, even if it is in real estate, right? I'm always go back to real estate because that's my thing, that's my niche. Gotcha. But again, so what does that look like? That looks like sacrificing, right? Mm-hmm. Again, we go back to that microwavable, mindset that everybody has. They want to live big and look big now, right? Okay, well, you're gonna look a little rough later when you can just sit down, right? I think about like another book that I started with, like the compound effect. We're talking about a short amount of period, and this is what I was going to mention in the video that I seen. He said this guy was talking to his son. He said, "I want you to invest $200 a month into an investment account for 7 years. And that, even if you just do it for the 7 years, over that time, he'll become a millionaire. $200 a month. That's it. From 18 until 25, $200 a month into an investment account. Even if he didn't continue, it will grow and appreciate to millions. And it's like, so that's why like I said, I'm studying now. I'm going to start that now. My babies are 5 and 2, right? They got to be multimillionaires by the time they turn 18. They have to be.
Man.
They have to be.
I got you.
So, just sitting down and, again, looking at what it is that we spend our money on. Is this going to bring me money or is it going to take away money? That's it. We spend more money on cars than we do ourselves, really. We pay interest. We, like I said, food, it's like, when you really sit down and think about it, do you value food more than you value your child's future or your future at that? Because we're going to grow older, right? Our youth is going to fade away. I do not see, this is the thing. When I made my mind up, this is why I actually went to school to become an engineer. Number one, I like fixing stuff, right? Gotcha. And I like send me a problem, I want to beat it up, right? So I love engineering. Gotcha. But I was, like I said, I was at McDonald's and I seen I just knew that I'm like, I can't be 60 at McDonald's.
Yeah. Listen. That's my whole thing now. Like, when I hear somebody say, before I say this, it is nothing wrong.
It's nothing wrong.
It's not. If that's what you choose to do, go for it. Listen, I have my own business. I need employees. So I'm not saying don't work a job.
Absolutely.
But if that's not where your passion is at, don't try to force yourself to fit into that box.
Absolutely.
You're going to add stress to your life.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is, it used to almost make me like,
yeah.
When I used to hear people say, yeah, I'm thinking about working here for the next 25 years.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I'm like, bro, we only 20 now. And you talking about working here for 25 years. You cap out at $25 an hour.
Right.
Like, after that, you make no more money. You're putting a cap on yourself. So it's like you choose to put a cap on yourself versus possibly, like you said, investing some of that money into something else.
Yeah.
Or even going out and starting you a second income.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to sit there like horrified.
Yeah.
Like you said, 25. I'm like,
who wants to be locked down? Like, that's like a life sentence. It's like 25 years in a place. That's a long time to have to be committed to something.
Man.
Every day. You know what I mean? I'm not going to even compare it to being locked up, but it's locked into something that, like, where's the freedom in that? And again, that's why, like I said, building financial freedom, like living a life that's free, like Hawaii for a month, or even on the kingdom aspect. What about if God tells you to go do something for a month? I need you to go and volunteer over in China for 30 days. And you worried about this 25-year sentence you got.
Facts. Because then at that point, you like, man, I only got this much vacation time. I only got this many call-ins.
Yes.
You know what? I got like 6 points already. I called all time. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
That's not free. Nah. That's not free. So, definitely and again, just like you said, this is not to bash anybody who is currently working or who have worked any place for 25 years, because there's an awakening that needs to take place, just like it happened in us. Yeah. We were not there. It was something like a conversation like this, or, being around, actually me being an engineer, rubbing shoulders with different people who grew up in a different area, in a whole different neighborhood that I did, was how I started to hear about things that I didn't know. Matter of fact, one of my past coworkers, they contacted me to purchase a home. Right. And when we went through the process, it was one of the simplest, fastest home selling transactions that I've had. He literally put out all the money for the down payment and closing. And I was like, wow, even in real estate, I was still learning about finance. And I didn't even know you can do that. I didn't even know that you could tap into your investment account and buy a home. And then it just got me to thinking, like, wow, so I can tap into my investment account and buy investment property, buy an apartment building, put it down in a home, and then when you think about different type of loans, like there's, you get into like quadplex, that's still considered a single family home. You can purchase a home, live in one part, and rent out the other 3. So again, just switching your mindset on how do we look at money and how do we look at how we spend it.
And then one thing about that, to bring that back, that still goes back into what you were saying about budgeting, because like you said, you buy a quadplex. Mm-hmm. You live in one section. Mm-hmm. You living in that one section. Now you have 3 other sections that you renting out. Yeah. Now you bringing in more income than what you putting out.
Absolutely. Assets, liabilities.
Listen, that's a bar for y'all. Right? I'm hoping that y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads off.
Yes.
It is jewels being dropped here. Like, so just get ready. That's all I can say. So my next question for you is just, how does somebody change their mindset to become more locked in on their finances? That's the question I have for you.
So this is going to seem a little far-fetched or off subject, but start with affirmations, right? I recently, again, this process, I'm still learning about money. So I'm honored that you feel like that I am even, knowledgeable in this area. But again, it's those awakening moments, when God just like, all right, what you gonna do? This is not the life I want you to live, right? And, that moment when I couldn't fix my car, right? And then I had a birthday party or birthday trip, I'll say, last year. And I remember me and my best friend, we were there. She had a conversation with a lady, and she was saying how she had worked all this time as a nurse. We were in Aruba. They had been in Aruba for several weeks, just, hey, I'm just kind of just unwinding as I go and retire. So again, she's still putting at work. Like you said, she was still working, but she was building while she was working. Right? She was telling her money what to do. She wasn't letting it tell her what to do. So she had a choice to be at work, right? She left work on an FMLA, so she didn't care if they let her go. Bye, So that's what I mean. The difference between, again, there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's or anywhere. It's the fact that, do you have to be there, or are you there because it's a part of your plan, right? And so, I had an awakening moment on this trip when she was, like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and retire and I'm going to start my dog walking business. Oh, okay.
Dog walking business?
A dog walking business. This lady, now she getting ready to retire, so she had to be well in her 60s.
Gotcha.
She, again, thinking about her creative mind and tapping into that creativity, she said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I only walk them about 2 hours a day because I just want to, this is what I'm going to use to hold myself accountable to exercise, since I'm not getting up and going to be a nurse. Because she loved being a nurse, so she was there because she wanted to be.
Gotcha.
She said, and she was going to make 6 figures walking dogs 2 hours a day. Right?
Man.
Think about that. 6 figures walking dogs for 2 hours a day. Right? So then I had an awakening moment. And I said, okay, 6 figures that's not what I learned. 6 figures, okay, yeah, we can touch that. We've touched that. It's nothing.
Yeah, we don't got a money making
problem. No, we don't have a money making problem.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking at, okay, wait a minute. I'm thinking wrong. Because I'm still working too hard. And so from that day, I started praying a prayer to God every day. Father God, take off the slavery mentality from my mindset. Remove it. I've been saying that since last May. And slowly but surely, when things come up, and trust and believe, the enemy will try and bring things up to make me feel some type of way, but snap right out of it because I've been affirming, right? I think I tell you about this, the app I have, like the I Am app or whatever. But I'm saying, sing my song for me? Ching, ching, ching.
Yep, the one. I learned it from YouTube. I don't know who made the song, but it goes ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. And every time it ching, money comes to me. It all comes in so abundantly. To the top, left, right, and abundantly. Wave, 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 I'm a money wave.
Hey.
Money flow, money made.
Hey.
On in and out, plus money saved.
Hey.
All that is paid.
Paid. Look. So.
I say to myself every day.
Absolutely. And so, I change it up because, I like to switch stuff up. So just yesterday, I wrote on my husband's whiteboard, money comes to me easily, right? I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Proctor. Rest in peace, we miss you. But, he was big on, he has plenty of studies and videos on affirmations because we know our mind is like a machine. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I say start there. I know that seems so far-fetched, but allow yourself to believe that you are wealthy. Mm-hmm. So I'll just say it. I'm wealthy. Money comes to me easily. I got a big bag, however you need to say it for you to feel it. Right. So start there. And then after that, get the education, tap in with the people. Again, I'm a praying woman. So, okay, Father, send me the people who I need to meet this week.
Gotcha.
And, or allow me to recognize where I need to start at. I think you've been into some places with me recently, like, oh, go talk to Fidelity, go do this, and it's like, oh, okay. So I just take some, be worthy. Find yourself worthy. We spend so much time on Instagram and TikTok and nothing wrong with that, but find yourself worthy. Find yourself valuable where you can just time block an hour a week to go talk to a professional. Right? So yeah. And then you realize that, oh my goodness, this, even the $5 that we talk about, right? Even what can I do with $5 a day? This man said $200 a month. So when you think about $5 times 30, right? We already at $150 a month. So it's not obtainable. It's not that we don't have money come to us. Mm-hmm. It's just how we spend it or where we tell it to go. So it's time for us to command our money to go and make money.
So what you're telling me is, it's not that we have a money making problem. It's not even that we have a budgeting problem. It goes back to the mindset of how we think about the money that we actually have access to.
Yeah.
Because like you said, even I was the type of person that be like, dang, I don't got it, so should I spend it?
Yeah.
But then the thing is, it was just, I didn't know how much I was making or how much I did actually have that I was wasting.
Yeah.
So now that you say that, it makes sense because literally after getting around you and your little husband, Ramsey Rattler, creative finance.
I will.
Shout my guy out. But getting around you two, it made me look at my finances different. And then not only then, but after speaking to a couple of people that I've met through you guys, like you said, being put into certain rooms with people that talk about finances a little bit different than the average person.
Absolutely.
That's what started to make me like, hold on, let me grab this notebook and let me plan this out.
Yep. Yep.
Because literally, with me getting my finances together to a certain degree, which I still got to go talk to me a CPA.
Absolutely.
But just doing like the little basic things, it was just simple.
Life changing.
Yeah, just me looking at, like you said, the things that don't change every month.
Yeah.
That I actually need to basically survive, or to live. I won't say survive.
Yeah.
Because I think that's another problem we have. We get stuck in a
survivorship. Mode. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you try to talk about money, you talk about money, you get stuck in survival mode. You throw whatever you talk about out the window.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now you're not trying to live. You're just trying to survive.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we here. Yeah. Yep. That's it.
So with that, what it was me just looking at everything that I use every month.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look at this. And then I came up with the number. Like for me and my wife is actually, just being honest, $2,400 a month.
Yep.
And when I looked at that, I'm like, $2,400.
That's nothing.
I'm like, that's not hard to make.
It's nothing.
Like, and let me just tell y'all, before I was doing the podcasting, I was in the shoes. So I'm not judging y'all at all. I was sneakerhead myself.
Yeah.
But what I learned was that side hustle I created with the sneakers. Only thing I had to sell was 5 pair of shoes.
Yep.
I'm like, if I sell 5 pair of shoes, I make what I need for the month. And I'm like, it's not hard to go out there and do that.
It's not hard. So, it's literally, and it's so funny. My sister cousin just told me this today. She said, anytime I hear numbers, I want to call you because I know you love. She said, I know you just get excited about numbers because they are what they are. Yeah. It's we make it so. I mean, I know people. I don't like math, and I get it. Yeah. But we're not even in that type of math. We're not in advanced math. We're talking 1 + 1 = 2.
It's the other thing that goes back to another thing that you said earlier. Put your aces in their places.
For sure, absolutely.
If you don't like math, get around somebody who likes math.
Call somebody like me. I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Hey, how much would you charge me to work this problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom. You just got to be around those people to have them in your, like you said, have another person around you that could be almost like another tool in your tool belt.
Absolutely. So I actually, going back to kind of something that you said when you came up with your number. So going back to when I couldn't fix my car, when I to finish off with that story, what I ended up doing was I created a number. At the time, mine was $2,200. Right? That's how much my basic bills were. Okay. So that just tell you, I was spending, right? And so what I ended up doing was, and the Holy Spirit helped me through this because like you have said, and I have said, I am not a financial advisor. I have not had any financial training outside of, I think I took an accounting class, in secondary school once and prayer, right?
YouTube University.
And YouTube. No.
Not even YouTube.
No, not even YouTube University. Not this time. You gotta go. We back in, like I said, it's like 2015. YouTube was there, but it wasn't like it was now. This was literally, I laid this thing out. I literally gave it to God and said, I know this ain't it. And so I said, so what do I need to do? And I sat down, I wrote everything out. I came up with a monthly budget. I gave myself an allowance, and I'm talking about a nice allowance too. And I had a primary, I had to go open up more bank accounts. That's another thing. My people, get you more than one bank account.
it ain't gonna do it just one.
It's not, we put money go in, money come out from one bank account. So that was the first thing. I might have had two. Mm-hmm. I end up with, so I had my primary, what I call the hub that my check went into. Mm-hmm. I had a short-term saving, a long-term saving, and then a spending account. So I ended up with 4 accounts. Every time that my check went into this account, my money went over to the one that needed to actually know that expenses. So expenses came out of my hub account, right? Mm-hmm. So I left that there. But my short-term savings, I put over what it was that I wanted to save right in there. Now, again, I wish I knew about real estate at this time. Because, see, I didn't know that yet. Yeah. But I had a savings account, because my long-term savings account would have been my real estate account. However, what it was things that I knew I wanted to save up for that I didn't need right away. Okay. So going on vacation. Me and my honey, we're newly married. We want to go to Hawaii for a month, right? Mm-hmm. So I had a long-term savings account. Then I had a short-term savings account. And I used this account for these shoes that I like. Because I like to shop. I like to dress, right? Okay. So, okay, I'm not just going to go out. If my spending money for that month is not enough for something that I want or budgeted, let me go say that I've budgeted for that month, then I just put the money over here into this short-term account. Mm-hmm. And then I will wait until the next one. And then I will go get what it was that I want.
So you was disciplined with your money.
Oh, yeah. That's all I needed was that one embarrassing phone call. That's all I needed. I like to win, that's my spirit. I love to win, and so I felt like a loser. So, I thank God for that personality, because nobody has to tell me, a lot of people, they don't want to hear it, or they want to, act like that they're bigger than what they are. And again, I had to humble myself, and I had to look at myself, my mindset, and say, okay, this is not, you didn't go put in all of this time through school. I worked 2.5 jobs while I was in school, and I'm not playing, and hustle. Like, I'm paying, babysitting, painting stuff, whatever, right? whatever that I needed to do legally to just make it through and cover my bills. So now you are in a position where you don't even have to think about paying your bills, and then you're going to just blow money, for who, for what? So that's when, like I said, I created the system. God gave me the system, downloaded it to me. And in a matter of, I think 3 months, I had over $30,000 in my bank. Mm. Yeah. So check come in, boom, bills, short-term savings went over there. I had that extra card that I was able to spend how I wanted to, because I still wanted to be able to live, so entertainment, if I'm going out with my girls, and it was like, it was just one small mindset, one change, one small, now I am techie. So I had my stuff automated. I didn't even have to go to the bank for it to happen. But even if you got to have a banking day, people don't even have banking days. Some people don't even know how to write checks. Like, we need to tend to the things that is going to help us get to where we need to go. That's another thing I hear people all the time. Like, oh, I don't know anything. I don't like, managing bills. I don't even want to think about it. Why not?
The only thing you're doing is making yourself suffer even more. Like, so why?
But we'll do it for everybody else. Do you know how much business that I handled at McDonald's for $8 an hour? I counted down money for the day. I went and made deposits. I managed all day because I was a manager. I managed all day. I had to go and look and check the numbers and say, labor's too high. And all of my restaurant people know what I'm talking about. If you'd never been an employee or a manager, when that labor too high, you had a percentage. You knew, I got to cut. You got to go home. You got to go home. But we don't even want to do that with our own money. That's all it is. You just manage yourself, manage your bills, and you'll look up, boom. You'll have it. You'll have a bag.
Man, see, that goes back to, like I tell people, though, it's only 2 qualities that you really need to become successful. Mm-hmm. That's discipline, consistency.
That's it.
If you got those 2, everything else, I ain't gonna say gonna fall into place, but everything else you'll be able to grow into or figure it out. Yep. And it won't be, I'll say, so rough to get it actually done. Yep. So I'm like, the only thing you got to do is, if you develop discipline, consistency, and whatever works for you, keep doing. Whatever don't work, throw it out, like you said. take the meat, spit
out the bones.
That's if you simply use that, like I said, that right there is a slight formula for y'all. If you use that little formula, you'll go a very long way when it comes to becoming successful in whatever realm that you want to become successful in. If it's your finances, if it's your investments, if it's podcasting, whatever it is you want.
Yeah. Yes.
Discipline, consistency.
Yep.
Man, listen, you've been dropping jewels today.
Hey, listen, I vowed that whatever I learn, I want to share it however I can. So, believe it or not, me and my clients, we be sitting out, we budget. I'm helping them buy a house. We're budgeting. You see what I'm saying?
So you don't just, I ain't finna just sell you a crib. I'm finna help you budget for this thing.
Absolutely.
So that way you can actually live after buying this house.
I don't want to have to sell your house next year because you can't afford it. Or I definitely don't want to have my husband come and buy it because you're going into foreclosure.
Man, and that, I keep telling people this because I was in a debate earlier. And I told people, I know it might sound rough, but I'm just being honest. A lot of times we can't afford the things that we want out of life because we're living above our means.
Absolutely.
And it's like you said, you haven't created a budget for yourself.
Yep.
You didn't give yourself an allowance. Like people would say, allowances for children. No.
Yeah.
Allowances for the wealthy.
Yep.
I'll just say that.
Yep.
So you didn't give yourself an allowance. You didn't give yourself no wiggle room.
Yep.
So now you living paycheck to paycheck. And you stuck in survival mode, and you can't even be creative.
You can't even live. Yes.
You can't be creative to figure out another way to make money. So the only thing you can do is depend on your 9 to 5.
Yep.
And at that point, your stomach starts touching your back. You can get out here and do anything for a little
You'll
bit
do
of change.
Anything. Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
With all that being said, only thing I'm telling y'all is don't live above your means.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
As Sis said, create you a budget. Once you create that budget, be disciplined enough to stick to that budget and have the consistency to do that budget month after month. And you'll wake up and you'll have $30K in your bank account.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Listen, this was the year right before our wedding. Let's just say our wedding was lit. Yeah, absolutely. But and to give one final thought on what you just said with being disciplined and consistent, it's the plan. Understanding that you're not going to be there forever. Because you didn't sign up, like you said, you didn't sign up to a 25-year sentence at the spot. But you can't sign up to a 3-year commitment to yourself and say, I'm going to do this for 3 years. We're going to live off of my income, not my wife's, or my wife's income, not my husband. Because it could be, let's wipe away that, right? Because, I ain't trying to be no marriage counselor in here, but listen, was my husband's is mine, was mine is his. So we making this plan together.
See, and that right there was the thing that I learned from you, because that's literally how me and my wife bought our house.
Yep.
It was like, okay, I had the income. She had the credit.
Yep.
Because just being transparent with y'all, like I said, not being disciplined and consistent with my money.
Yep. I
ended up switching jobs, didn't have enough saved when I switched jobs. And this other job paid less, but it had better benefits in the end. So I had to take a sacrifice, and I had to let my credit take a hit in order to keep my wife's afloat.
Yeah.
But in reverse of that, once the money started coming in, I'm in the process of fixing my stuff.
Absolutely. So, because everything can be fixed.
Yeah. Thank you. So with that being said, what I had was the income. My wife had the credit. So the only thing I had to do was just fund the money into our bank account, and we was good.
That's it.
And we ended up getting a house that she fell in love with.
That basically she can afford because it was on hers credit. And so that means like your future is nothing but up.
Facts.
Nothing but up from here.
And just to throw this out there, I'm paying that thing off in 5 years. And then we
do it in 3. I'm going to challenge you.
Talk to me.
3 years. What's today?
Man.
3 years. We're going to look back.
Listen.
Do the follow-up video.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
3 years, we're going to have that thing paid off. And then I got to move to a warmer climate.
Yeah.
this snow ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, seasonal homes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on my vision board. Yeah.
Yeah, talk to
I need one each corner of the United States. And I'm thinking overseas look good too. Yeah. I want to go back to Africa. Oh my goodness.
So, listen to me. I have enjoyed this time with you.
Yes, likewise.
So much fun with you today, just sitting back talking. And you just giving us game. Like I said, I hope y'all had y'all pens and y'all pads out today.
Yes.
Because there's so much game in this episode. I hope you just go back, keep listening to it, rewind it. Anything that's been said here, go back and just write it down and use it. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So you already know we at a point in the podcast that I don't love to do.
Okay.
But you know it got to be done because you got to get back to running your business.
Absolutely.
I got to do the same.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, my last question for you is, if there's one key to success or one gem to success that you could drop for the people out there, what would it be?
In regards to finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If there's one gem that I can drop, I would say locate yourself. Just see where you are. Start where you are. And I'll say that because we often in society today, we look to see where others are and we want to have that. We want to have the nice cars. We want to have the nice homes. But if we don't take a reflection of where we are, we can't even start to map out a plan to get there. That's what I had to do, right? That was my fork in the road moment. I had to see where I was. And from there, it's a wrap.
So what you're saying is talk to the man in the mirror.
That's it.
Shout out MJ.
Yeah. Yeah. It was only right. Absolutely.
Man, so listen. Like I said, I enjoyed sitting here with you today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly,
it's an honor. It's really an honor.
I was going to say, just let the people know where they can reach you at.
So you can find me on Instagram at Sparkle Rattler. I'm also on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. I actually will be starting my YouTube page. So yeah, okay. Sparkle Rattler. Yeah.
Sparkle Rattler?
Yeah.
So listen, yo, I heard the gems that she dropping here. So you know you need to go to her YouTube page to get just a little bit more of that. So with that being said, those are the places they can find you?
Yep.
All right. Well, once again, you have been with your guy, Mr. Royal Minds, Darrell Willis. My lovely guest, Miss Sparkle Rattler.
Oh, thank you.
Like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming back, listening, and watching. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, download, and just come back and hang with us, man.
Yes.
We appreciate you. Love you. Stay blessed.